Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about PlayStation 2 emulation on Android, iOS, Mac, Windows, Linux, and in your browser with Play. And Play just got a brand new update. Now Play is getting better and better here, and the compatibility is also getting a lot better. So at the time of filming, the latest version of Play is version 0.67. Now over the last little bit, Play has improved quite a bit. There's a whole bunch of fixes and some new games listed as working. Some of those games include Family Guy, Mashed Fully Loaded, Extreme Quads, Bionicle, and even more. If you wanted to check out the overall compatibility of Play, all you've got to do is head on over to their compatibility tracker. I'll drop a link in the description below. In fact, everything I talk about, link will be in the description below right at the bottom. Anyways, once you are here, all you have to do is click on Labels, and then scroll down to the nice green label here that has status as playable. And then feel free to check out the games. Overall, for the compatibility for Play, things are shaping up nicely. For playable, they've got 44.52% of the games they've tested listed as playable, and that's 2,592 games. For in-game, it's over 40%, intro is 12%, loadable is 2.66%, and nothing is only 0.12%. And for people on mobile devices, for example Android, it is available on the Google Play Store. However, it hasn't been updated in a while there. The last update was May 6th. And if you head right to the website, you can pick up the latest version, which is dated October 22nd, and the APK is right here available. There are a couple of things about Play I want to mention. First and foremost, PCSX2, if you're looking for a more complete, more compatible emulator, is going to be Play. However, Play does not require a BIOS file, and Play is getting a lot better. And on Android here, for example, Play is the only emulator that's on the Play Store that is currently in development. Let me know your thoughts about Play in the comments below. And speaking about emulators in development, next up we're talking about Nintendo DS Emulator NooDS, which just also got a brand new update with a brand new feature. So at the time of filming, the latest update for NooDS here is yesterday, and NooDS is on a rolling release schedule, so it gets updated quite frequently. And if you head over to their GitHub, there are no previous releases. Anyways, one of the things that was just added here was a basic DSi mode for homebrews like SM64 DSi. So if you like homebrews like SM64 DSi, you may want to check out the latest version of NooDS. And speaking about Nintendo stuff, next up we're talking about the Nintendo Switch Online playtest that was pretty limited and has just started leaking. No surprise here, people are posting footage of this game online, people are streaming it, and people are sharing images of it all over the place. Now, to accept the game, it's not necessarily an NDA, it's not an official NDA, but Nintendo is doing everything they can here, at least it appears that way, to take down these videos. So based on comments I've seen from people who have played the game and people who have watched people play the game, it seems the overall sentiment is this is kind of like a Minecraft clone, just a lot more warm and cuddly. And someone here says, continued watching and the vibes are immaculate. There is a sense of community just watching other people build things while listening to good music. Now, I could be wrong about the whole NDA bit, but I'm pretty sure there is no official legally binding NDA that Nintendo is having people sign to join this playtest. However, Nintendo can issue DMCA strikes or whatever they can do to try to take these videos down that they don't want being showcased. I mean, Nintendo seems to have no problem going after videos they don't agree with that show their content. Anyways, here it appears that's exactly what Nintendo is doing. If you are curious about the game and wanted to learn more about it, IGN does have some spoilers about what the game is and details about it. On top of that, there will be some videos probably on YouTube and people streaming it on Twitch moving forward. I think this is going to be a continuous problem. I mean, people are interested in the game, and streamers and YouTubers are probably interested in showcasing it. And speaking about showcasing stuff, and also YouTube, next up we're talking about Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, Monster Hunter Wilds just had a recent showcase, and there's a nice video about it, about a 10-minute long video that was just posted to YouTube. Monster Hunter Wilds will be releasing on February February 28th, and they included details about their pre-order levels as well as their beta tests. So there are 3 different pre-order tiers: the base game, which is just the standard edition, the deluxe edition, which is the base game and a deluxe pack, and the premium deluxe edition, which is the base game, the deluxe pack, and also some premium stuff. Go figure. Now, based on everything I'm seeing here, and I could be wrong, and if I am, let me know in the comments below, the deluxe and premium editions don't give you anything to enhance your gameplay. It's all just cosmetic items. But a lot of people like cosmetic items, and I'm not going to blame you if you like the cosmetic stuff. I mean, sometimes it can make your character look super cool. I mean, take a look at the general pre-order bonus here, and it's the Guild Knight set, and I think that looks really cool. At the same time, it's not enough to make me want to pre-order a game, because since I'd be playing it on Steam here, I'd just be downloading it, and there's no way they're going to run out of that. So I'm just going to wait to see how the game is, not pre-order it, and go from there. But if you're going to pre-order it, let me know your thoughts in the comments below about the Guild Knight set and the deluxe versus premium versus base versions of the game. And as for the open beta test, there's a couple of them here. One is for PlayStation 5. It starts on October 28th, and it's for the PlayStation Plus exclusive early access play. And then there's one starting on October 31st for the rest of us, and that'll be PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Steam. Next up here, we're talking about Linux, and if you're into pen testing and internet security and computer security, you might be interested in Parrot Linux. Anyways, they just released version 6.2. So in the latest version of Parrot OS, there's a whole bunch of updates to a whole bunch of different packages. The Linux kernel has been updated from version 6.5.13 to version 6.10.11. For the Raspberry Pi specifically, it's got a brand new kernel here, version 6.6.43. Now, on top of all of that, the Parrot team has introduced a brand new tool, and I think this is one of the bigger parts about the update. The tool is called Rocket. It's a launcher written entirely in Python, and they say it's to launch Docker containers, specifically some security tools in our repository on Docker Hub. So they say here, instead of typing and downloading a specific tool, through Rocket you can select a tool from the list, and then downloading the Docker image and launching the container is taken care of by the application. Well, there you have it. Let me know your thoughts about Parrot OS in the comments below, specifically version 6.2. And continuing to speak about Linux stuff, next up we're talking about the Raspberry Pi, and Raspberry Pi has just introduced its own SSDs and SSD kits. The drives come in 2 different sizes, 256 gigs and 512s. I kind of wish there was a 1 terabyte size. Anyways, here it is, NVMe, and on top of that, they are priced very reasonably. The 256 is priced at $30 and $40 as a kit. 512 is priced at $45 on its own and $55 as a kit. And on a quick side note, if the SSD is a little bit overkill for your Raspberry Pi, earlier on this month, Raspberry Pi also introduced their own branded microSD cards, along with an interesting bumper here so you don't accidentally snap off your microSD card. Where's the image for it? Here it is. So it just clips onto the bottom of a Raspberry Pi 5 and provides that little bit of extra space so you don't snap that micro SD. And continuing to talk about Linux stuff, next up we're talking about SteamOS. And SteamOS version 3.6.19 just dropped, and this one, in my opinion, is an awesome update. The Linux kernel just got updated. Now, the changelog for this one is pretty big. I mean, there's quite a bit here, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below if you wanted to leaf through the entire thing. But the very first point here I'm most excited about. Updated to a more recent Arch Linux base and updated Linux kernel to version 6.5. These updates improve hardware compatibility, system performance, security, and overall system stability. On top of that, they've got a whole bunch of fixes. They've improved microSD card handling. They've updated their graphics driver to Mesa 24.1 with many performance and other improvements. They've improved the responsiveness of the Steam user interface. They've improved performance and stability in memory pressure situations. And they've slightly improved cold boot time. And on top of that, there is still even more. They've improved the pairing experience with Apple AirPods. They've enabled support for Bluetooth HFP and BAP profiles. They've added a mechanism to configure which Bluetooth device categories are allowed to wake the system from suspend. They've added support for extra ROG Ally keys, for the Asus ROG Valkyrie Pro controller, and even more stuff. I mean, even their desktop mode got updated here to KDE Plasma version 5.27.10. And there's updates to the Steam Deck dock, for example, adding support for some HDMI CEC features like TV remote input, TV wake up, and TV input switching. This is a real big update and a must-have if you do have a Steam Deck. So if you haven't guessed already, yes, I'm very excited about this update. I'm very happy with what Valve is doing for the Linux gaming community, and I am hoping we're getting closer to an official SteamOS release. Something that's more than just for the Steam Deck and hopefully more than just for the ROG Ally. But let me know your thoughts about SteamOS in the comments below. Next up, we're talking about Fallout 4, or specifically a very popular Fallout 4 mod. We're talking about Fallout London. Now, Fallout London stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, and IGN is reporting this as one of the most successful video game mods of all time. The Fallout London team has just announced they've hit 1 million downloads. The best part about Fallout London is that if you own a copy of Fallout 4, the mod is 100% free. In fact, it's 100% free even if you don't own Fallout 4. You just need the base game in order to play it. And fortunately, the Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition right now on GOG is 75% off, and it does not cost very much at all. A lot of people, I've been told, have been picking up this game just to play Fallout London, which is very surprising. In my opinion, it's worth pointing out that Fallout London is not an official mod for Fallout 4. It's a fan-made mod, and this is right from GOG over on IGN. Today, we couldn't be happier to see the success that Fallout London has become, reaching the entirety of 1 million owners on our platform, and achieving it on Fallout Day no less. We'd like to take this moment to wholeheartedly congratulate Team Fallout on their groundbreaking record. And I think this is absolutely incredible. Now, I'm not joking with you when I say this. One of my favorite things, if not my favorite thing about Bethesda, is how much they let the modding community thrive for their games. I mean, if you take a look at Skyrim, Oblivion, the entire Fallout series, and even more, the modding communities are usually alive and well and producing a lot of great stuff. In turn, I think it's helping these games sell a lot of different copies, and a model I wish other companies followed here. I mean, look at the success of Fallout London. I'm certain it's generated a whole bunch of sales for Fallout 4. Moving on, and we're talking about Metal Slug, and if you're a fan of Metal Slug but wanted something maybe a little bit slower and a little bit more tactical, you might be a fan of Metal Slug Tactics. Anyways, it just got a release date announcement over on YouTube, and it will be releasing on November 5th, even on Steam. Let me know your thoughts about Metal Slug Tactics in the comments below. It's headed to Steam, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox, so pretty much everywhere. And speaking about games that are on every single platform, next up we're talking about Doom, which I think is literally on every single platform ever, on almost anything you can think of, even on a pregnancy test. Anyways, here someone is working on a very interesting Doom mod that adds in some awesome hand-to-hand combat. Let me know your thoughts about this one. Now, as far as I know, this game is still in development, and I've got no idea on release date just yet, but it does look fantastic. If you're a fan of stuff like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and a whole bunch of other games, you'll probably be a fan of this one. And last up here, we're talking about SwitchWave, which is a hardware-accelerated media player for the Nintendo Switch, built on MPV and FFmpeg. Now, SwitchWave just got its first official release, so I'm very curious to see where this one goes moving forward, and I haven't tested this one out yet, so I'm very curious on the overall performance. But this does require a hacked Switch. It won't work with a stock Switch, at least that's my understanding here. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff, unless you count the legendary one fluff right there. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.